Hello everyone, I'm Psychotic, and that's also my screen name. We are back with episode 36 for our Season 2 of Medieval Dynasty. Today we're going to work on getting a couple of animal buildings back up and going out by the fields. We're also going to see about going ahead and doing another mining run when the season changes. We're also going to have to seed for flax. We have quite a bit that we actually have to do because we spent most of winter building, but that's all right. Let's see what we can get into. So if you learn anything useful today, or if you have a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, let's go ahead and load in. Hey Alex, hey Stesso, what's going on, guys? We're just loading in. You guys caught it from the very get-go. So they've still got a little bit over here to handle, it looks like. They'll probably get it done, but we are going to have to keep an eye on that. I do, however, want to get us our animal buildings up. Originally, I wanted to put them on that side, but I actually think we're going to end up putting them on this side. And we're probably going to start up here, since this is where our production buildings and whatnot are. Can we squeeze through here? No. Hey, Venomous! How's things, man? Okay, we might do this a little bit backwards from last time. Let's, here's how I think we're going to handle this. We're going to put our gate this way. And then our fences is going to be kind of hard to tell where we want to put them. So I definitely know that we're going to want a pigsty and we're going to want a fold. But I want the fold closer to where we're actually doing stuff with it than I do the pigsty, because the pigsty we're not going to interfere with as much. How's that look? Because that's not much room. Let's go ahead and take one of these trees out. Okay, a couple of these trees out. I lied. Oh, please don't disrupt the field. Woo! Although I guess nothing's planted on this side yet, so it wouldn't be a huge deal. Alright, I think this will be the last one that we pull out. But this should allow us to put the two buildings side by side. I don't think we're actually going to do a goose hut because we're only using the eggs to feed ourselves. So I'm not really going to worry about making an additional goose hut. I think that would be a waste of time and effort. But this is a little closer than I really wanted it. So we're going to go ahead and move this back a little bit. And then we'll put the pigsty next to it. Okay, so now for fencing... This is going to be the awkward part. It's like our fence line on our other building is slightly awkward too. Okay, we can work with this. So let's go into fences. We're actually gonna do stone for this. So we're gonna line ourselves up east so that we can get away with walking straight lines here. Well, it's going to wind up being slightly off, but that's alright. That'll actually do just fine, I think. We probably went further to the left than we really needed to. Let's see how many... 1, 2... Yeah, let's knock this down to 3. Alright, let's redo this. We're only going to do 3 sections to the right of the fence. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 3 and 10. And that'll help us going forward too, because we know that it's going to be 10. YouTube is such a weird website. On the one hand, it's a shame that wholesome, normal dudes like you don't blow up. But on the other hand, if you blew up, you bought a Lambo, you wouldn't be relatable. Fair enough. Honestly, though, rich people don't get to be rich by spending money. Even if I did get super popular and made a crap ton of money, I would still probably live in a 2-bedroom house and have a 4-door car and live a normal life. But I'm weird. One day, maybe. Maybe I'll be popular. Okay, so we're at 2. We're at 3. That trips to 4, so we'll stop there. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's better. Crap, I wasn't counting sideways. Oh, we can't count sideways. Because we don't know. We're going to come just a little bit past this. Okay, that's a little too much past this. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close enough. That was really, really close for just counting squares. I think we can make that work. Alright. Oh yeah, look at him go. Rich and famous people get richer by spending money. Well, it's not even that. The popularity certainly helps, but as far as the rich and famous people getting richer by spending money, a lot of the stuff that you see them doing is not actually spending money. Like, wealthy people tend to get a lot of things comped to them, where it's paid for by, like, your hotel room's free because you're a big name and people know who you are, so the hotel wants the reputation. Like, that's the kind of stuff that they get away with, that all of these people are paying for their stuff so they don't have to. But wealthy people don't stay wealthy by spending money all over the place. Like, they have to be fairly careful as to what they do. Bill Gates became the world's richest man when he tried to rehabilitate his image by donating a lot to charitable causes. As a result, his valuation went to the sky. Fair, but that is an outlier. That is not a norm. Your people that, generally speaking, have a significant amount of wealth do not spend very much money, and they certainly don't spend anything that they don't have to. Everything that they do spend is a calculated expense and is generally some form of investment or another. And again, generalizations. You always have outliers that do weird things, but that is how, generally speaking, wealth works. If you're spending money on a bunch of stupid shit that you don't need, you're not going to have any money because you spend it all on stupid shit you don't need. That was one of the hardest parts to come to terms with in business school, because I grew up thinking, like most people do, that, you know, wealthy people spend a bunch of money on some of the dumbest shit, and most of the people that are spending a bunch of money on the dumbest shit are the ones that you see that are bankrupt several years later. A lot of the money is in assets, that as well. But those are considered investments generally. But, like, you see the sports players that make, you know, multi-millions of dollars, and then you hear 5 years after they've retired that they're bankrupt and living in poverty, and it's because they bought the Ferraris, they bought the mansions, and they can't maintain that type of lifestyle with the expenditures that they're using. And the same with actors. Once they retire or stop acting, a lot of them go bankrupt fairly quickly, and the ones that don't are ones that live low-key lifestyles. Or invest heavily and live off of dividends instead of living off the principal. Which is also a fantastic idea. Absolutely. People that buy designer clothes usually have quite a bit of debt, yeah. That's definitely a big problem in the US as well. A lot of the people, they see wealth as a status, so they try to buy things that they know that they can't afford and live above their means just as a status symbol. Thankfully, I've never had that much pride myself. I am perfectly happy buying Walmart jeans and t-shirts from discount stores. I don't really care. And while I'm by no means wealthy, I survive on much less than most people think is possible. Is my dream, if I ever won the lottery or something crazy like that, my dream with the money would be to invest it. Hey, Resource Storage 3! Invest it in something where I can get enough that I can survive monthly off of dividends and just sit on it. Just let it accrue and make more wealth for my children, and in all honesty, I don't have children, so, and probably never will. But, like, my half-sister's 8 years younger than me. I wouldn't mind leaving her some stuff when I go. heard of people renting expensive things just for the image. That's a thing. That is a no-joke thing. And then unfortunately, some people don't realize that they're renting expensive things for an image, so they will go out and buy expensive things that they can't afford and accrue massive amounts of credit debt and then wallow in debt. And unfortunately, and this is leaning a little more towards politics than I usually like to, but I am dead set against things like forgiving of student loans. If you said that you would pay that money back, then by God, you pay that money back. I was making $9.50 an hour when I paid my student loans off, and I went to college twice. So stop buying McDonald's every night and pay your damn student loans. I lived on ramen for almost 4 years to do it, but I was able to do it. And that's all the more political I want to get. I try to avoid politics because politics are probably the second most divisive subject in the world. The first being religion. You had to serve in the military for college, fair enough. And there's no shame in that. Lending Lambos for high school reunions is a legit business. Hey, if you have them, I guess. Why not, right? I don't know that I could ever rent stuff like that, though. If I owned it, I don't know that I could rent it out, because I know how people treat things that aren't theirs, and I would be worried that I would wind up upside down on the investment because people would destroy it. Because people are assholes. As a general rule of thumb, individuals are unique and beautiful things, but people as a whole are assholes. And we are out of rocks. This could be a problem. Wait, we don't need any more rocks, do we? We need logs. Yeah, we need logs. We missed you too, man. I figured you were at work, because usually you're on if you're not. But just the fact that people show up to their high school reunions and rented Lambos, right? You know what's really depressing? And granted, I went to 13 different schools growing up. We moved a lot. I had no long-term friends. All of my friends were people I had met right around whenever I knew them. Usually a year or less. But when my high school reunion for the 10-year rolled around, I never even got an invite. Nobody even remembered me. And that was disheartening. Trying to save up for a Lamborghini. That is, that's not the best investment, to be completely honest. I mean, if it brings you joy, fair enough. Life's too short. But if you're looking for something to actually appreciate or get you from A to B, you could do a lot better. How many more logs do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 more logs? 6 more logs. And then a bunch of sticks. Ah! Sometimes. Certain models have been known to, but overall, not always. Generally speaking, as soon as you drive it off the lot, you've lost money on it. Wow, we have like 2,000 sticks. That is a lot. I should probably do something with those. We've been out here building for a whole season, just letting them rack up. Oop. Okay, so it looks like 8 straw for this one. Oh, maybe 12. And then 32. So we'll bring 48 and probably wind up with some extra, but... Why is there a kid weigh the shit out here? Oh, right, because the couple we moved in. Like, don't tell me that kid didn't walk all the way from the main village. This sounds like some crap I would have done as a kid. Should still buy a Lambo if you make it big just to flex on the haters. It would be funny, but I've never been much for caring what other people think of me. I mean, you have to care somewhat as to what other people think of you just to work in society as a whole, but in the grand scheme of things, I've been called any number of things from the time I was a child, and it's fine. I don't really care. I have thick skin. Nothing to prove. Okay. So we should now be able to take our animals... Oh, right. We can upgrade all of our storages, so that's going to be huge. We should be able to take all of our baby animals, which none of the geese are babies anymore. Okay. No baby pigs. We do have some baby sheep, though. So for this one, we are going to move them to the other fold. And this one, we are also going to move to the... Whoop, nope, that one's already in the other fold. This one. Yeah. So these two are in the fold that doesn't have a worker, so they won't be eating food anymore, but they will still grow up. They don't starve to death on you, so that's going to be big for keeping them as they are. I was seriously considering building an additional stable just for baby horses, but I honestly don't think it's a big deal. Alright. So for this cult, we are going to go back to Stevie Ray Vaughan. And we may as well sell off this mare, because as much as I want to wait until this one's an adult before we do sell it off, I'll deal with your haters if you get big. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. It's so hard to find goose feathers nowadays. Yeah. Well, the area that I live in now actually has quite a bit of wildlife. You can collect quite a few goose feathers just by going to any of the local ponds. But I am in a much more lush part of the U.S. now than I was previously. Alright, so now we will wait until the new colt, the new Stevie, is grown before we get rid of the stallion. But there's no point in keeping an adult female since both of our empty slots are full. So even if they bred, there was nowhere for it to go. So there's no reason to sit on that money when we can just sell it off and then wait for filly to grow up. Wait for the new filly to grow up. Our pigs, man, we've gone a long time without any pigs growing up. Because these two were bred, but we haven't had any additional since. Alright, I want to make sure that 0.75 is an adult before I sell off this male. I think it is, but I'm not positive. Well, yeah, because these say goose, not gosling. Okay, never mind. So we're going to sell off this male. And we're going to sell off one of the older females, just to give us 2 more breeding slots for geese. Actually, we're going to sell off both the older females because we are not eating as many eggs as they're producing. Talking about their undercoat. Oh, yeah, that's a little different. That's much harder to find. Yeah, the undercoat feathers are much more difficult to get a hold of. Unless you happen to know anybody that's a fowl hunter, but even then it's usually ducks and not geese. Okay, so our animals, it looks like we've got a pretty good grasp on now. So let's see who's having issues here. We don't care about that. Production. The kitchens are out of bowls again. Yep, they're out of bowls again. That kitchen doesn't have anybody in it. That's fine. That's the new one as well. That's fine. Those two are fine. That's fine. These are a problem. So we're out of hats. We need to handle that ourselves. And we don't have any berries or cherries left, but that's fine. So that was just a temporary thing. We're up to 259 potage. I'm just going to let the kitchen sit until they actually until they get their bowls back. Because that is a whole lot of potage. I mean, we've got over 7,000 food in there. That's 7 days worth, which is 2 in a partial season. Our water's in great shape, too. This is our wood demand. We might have to reevaluate those, because I don't think that we've done anything with those since we added the Castellan skill. So we're probably overproducing at this point. Although it might be better just to leave it sit if we're going to grow the village over here. That way, we've got a little bit of extra just in case. So let's get on making some of this stuff up. So we've got 68 divided by 8 is 8.5. So we'll take 64 of this. And then we'll take 16 of these. Okay. And then leather. We've probably got a crap ton of leather. We do have a crap ton of sticks. I don't know that I want to put all of the sticks into baskets at the moment, though. A large portion of them, sure, but I think that might be too many. How are we doing on selling our baskets? They don't make things like they used to anymore. That's fair. Yeah, feather pillows used to be my favorite as a kid for a very, very long time. Resource stall, yeah. How are you guys doing on baskets? Oh, they have a lot of baskets. We're going to have to back off a little bit on sticks, I think. We might... how are they doing on... resource stall? So vials, they've got 2 days left. They've got quite a while left on those. Let's change over our production a little bit on our workshop. They've been making 10 wicker baskets a day, and it's going to take forever to sell down. So let's drop this by... We'll drop this to 5? Been watching The Food That Changed America on Hulu. Yeah! Yeah. I like shows like that. They're interesting. I used to love the History and the Science Network on network television until they got into all of the reality television stuff. Then I lost interest. But back when they used to do actual science and historical stuff, that was super interesting to me. Okay, they're selling 12 a day. So let's bump ourselves down to 5. We'll make 5 a day. And then we will ratchet up our... So 5 a day is going to be 25 sticks a day. And then we're going to crank up our vials. These are all locked. Wooden vials. Ancient Aliens. Alright, now, I watch Ancient Aliens just for a laugh, because Crazy Hair Guy makes me giggle. Okay, so now we need to fix our extraction. For our woodshed 2, I need you guys to calm down on the sticks. Let's drop this back to like 60. That'll give us 50 a day on top of the 10 that they've already got. Our firewood's fine, so we'll put all of that back into planks. How many planks is that going to give us? So that's 37, so 60, 74 planks a day. But 37 crafts is going to take 37 of these away. Oh, Jesus, no wonder we were getting out of hand here. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. Haven't watched paid TV channels since Mythbusters. Yeah. Mythbusters was so hit and miss, though. Some of their stuff was really cool. Well, a lot of their stuff was really cool. But, a lot of their science, quote-unquote, was super shaky. Like, they were not usually controlled experiments, which means that a lot of the stuff that they either busted or confirmed was not really busted or confirmed because they weren't doing controlled experiments. They weren't repeatable. You need to only change one variable, and it has to be repeatable with the same results. The funniest show I've ever seen, Ancient Aliens. Yeah. Yeah. The sad part is there are people that believe everything that they say on that show like it's gospel. My father's one of them. And sometimes he really frustrates me with the conspiracy theory stuff. I am a big fan of... are you guys familiar with Occam's razor? Are you familiar with Hanlon's razor? Okay, so Hanlon's razor is in the same vein as Occam's razor. Occam's razor being the simplest solution is usually the proper one. Hanlon's razor is never attribute to maliciousness what can be explained through stupidity. And it sounds like a joke, but it's very, very serious. If you have somebody that you say somebody did something to you because they're trying to control you, or they're trying to make you do something, or they're trying to take something from you, and it's possible that you never even factored into their calculations, that one is probably the more accurate. Never attribute to maliciousness what can be explained through stupidity or ignorance. And I am a very, very big fan of that. I think a lot of conspiracy theories are people trying to put reason into a place where reason was never actually a part of the equation. There are actually 8 razors, but honestly, those are the only 2 that I really remember. That makes more sense. I'll have to put more thought into that, right? It's true, though, because our first reaction when somebody, quote-unquote, screws us over is that they did it intentionally. And 9 times out of 10, you never even factored into their thoughts. You had 0 to do with what they did. At least in my experience. And there are exceptions. Sounds like perception. Kind of. I wanted to make a new hammer because ours is almost busted. I'll throw the junky one in storage and let them break it. Let's fix our arrows up. There we go. And we can put our new iron hammer in. There we go. Alright, so we have a crap ton of sticks. I hate to do it, but we may as well make them into baskets. We gotta do something to get rid of them. Or at least reduce them a little bit. We have so many baskets, though. You know what? We'll sit on them and see what changes. They might start to eat through some themselves. Alright, iron bars. We're way out of hand on iron bars again. So we are going to make up a crap ton of knives. And I think... Did we already do a sales run, guys? Or am I mistaken? Have we not done one during winter? How much straw? I think we're back down to like 2,000 straw. We got way too much at one point in time. We had to I just had them sell it off at the stalls for a little bit to get it back down. Torches are worth some money. Yeah, we had a crap ton of straw. It was over 5,000 at one point. But torches aren't a terrible idea. I'm going to make a bunch of iron knives, though. I can't, for the life of me, remember if we did a sales run this season or not. I thought we did, but... Oh, well, it doesn't matter because the season's almost over. They've already gone to bed for the season, so we'll have to do it in spring. But we can at least get them made up. And then storage upgrades, that was something that we needed to do as well. So let's start with this one, since nobody's actually using it. Oh, we don't have any stones! Crap, that was dumb. Yeah, so when we go to hit up the mine again, we're gonna have to use the rocks to upgrade storages, because I completely forgot about that. We already used all of our rocks, so we can't right now. No! He really did walk all the way from the other village. Wow. Okay. Alruna? How old are you, Alruna? 2. Their 2-year-old walked all the way over here. Future warrior, right? Or somebody told it something that it took literally. When I was in kindergarten, I forgot a pencil. And I was in trouble because I forgot my pencil. So they sent me to the principal's office, and the secretary said, "It's not a big deal, just use my pencil." So I used her pencil throughout the day, and thanked her for it, and brought it back at the end of the day. And she said, "Now tomorrow, if you forget your pencil, don't bother coming to school." So the next day, I got off the bus at the school, first thing in the morning, bright and early, realized I'd forgotten my pencil. So I started walking home to go get it. And I lived probably 30 miles from the school, and the school sat on a highway, so I was walking on the side of the highway as a 5-year-old. And a school bus driver saw me walking and tried to stop and pick me up so that I obviously wouldn't get abducted or hurt. And he wasn't my bus driver, so he was therefore a stranger, and I refused to get in the bus because I was told that you don't get in cars with strangers. I was always an extremely literal child, and it bit me in the ass more than once. But yeah, that's a thing I did in childhood. Kid, get out of the fucking way. We gotta go get our scythe before they try. And then I wound up in the principal's office. They were gonna paddle me, and Mom had told me that they were not allowed to paddle me. That if they wanted to discipline me, that they needed to let her know, and she would handle it. And I told them that, and they weren't listening. So I got in even more trouble because I refused to follow their commands in the office as well, until my stepfather showed up in his mucking boots, because it happened to be the day that he was cleaning out the waste treatment plant at the trailer park that we lived in. So he had literal shit on his boots when he marched into their office. But yeah, that was my childhood in a nutshell. Anytime somebody told me something, that was exactly to the letter what they got, for better or worse. Sometimes it made me a very obedient child, and sometimes it made me a very frustrating child. Because there was no logic used. I did exactly what you told me. That lasted pretty well into my teen years, until I hit my rebellious stage. I completely forgot to drop the knives off. That was one of my favorite stories, though. Mom loves to tell it to new people. Whenever I do something that's odd, and they're like, well, that's weird. She's like, oh, you have no idea. Yeah. And again, it's another instance where somebody should have applied Hanlon's razor. It actually wasn't malicious. I just didn't understand exactly what you meant, so I did exactly what you said. Hey, James. How's things, man? Just hanging out, doing our stuff. You missed story time just briefly, unless you were hanging out already, which is possible. You hide from authority not by following the rules, but by not standing out, right? That's actually pretty solid advice there. You weren't an angel in school, skipped a lot of classes, set fire to the toilets. Not to talk about chemistry class. Okay, I'm at work and the internet. Oh, I'm sorry, man. Oh man, I had some shenanigans in chemistry class too. That was one of my favorite classes. It didn't help that our teacher was kind of an idiot. We got in trouble because we melted a hole in the floor from the first floor, or from the second floor. I guess it would be first floor if you were European, but from the American second floor to the first floor through the ceiling, because my friend had been in a car wreck and broken his wrist, and we were notorious for accidentally breaking glass because we weren't paying attention. And we were in class one day shortly after he'd broken his wrist. He had his hand in a cast and everything, and we heard glass shatter, and we looked at each other and saw that both of us still had our beakers in our hand. So he raised his hand up in the air and said, "Wasn't me," and because he had his cast on, his hand couldn't hold on to it, so he dropped his and it shattered in the sink. And he went, "Whoop, that one was me." And then I got the giggles, and I could not stop laughing. So we got detention. And for detention, the chemistry teacher decided that our punishment would be to dilute the hydrochloric acid, which was a very poor decision for two of the students who broke the most glassware that year. So we were trying to do that, and he left the room, and we were horsing around and tipped over the jug. And it ate through the chemistry counter, through the floor, and into the ceiling of the history classroom below us. It was like an episode of the Three Stooges. Seriously, it was fucking hilarious. We were in quite a lot of trouble. We had to go to Saturday detention, and he was never allowed to give another student detention. the instructor. But yeah, that was the kind of caliber of instructor that we dealt with for my chemistry class. He was not the most logical scientist, that is for certain. However, chemistry in college was a blast, and I paid quite a bit more attention and was quite a lot more careful, so that was a thing. I didn't break anything in college. But, you know, that's the difference between being 15 and being 25. Making your own history above history class, right? Oh, it was fantastic. Even looking back at it now, it's still pretty funny. Well, mostly because nobody was hurt, but, you know. Alrighty, buddy. Wow, he's not moving very well either, is he? Nope, he's overburdened as well. This is going to be fun. So we still got this field to do, and then we've got the other field down at the other location to do, too. What I think I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to hold back all of the rye from the other field. I was originally going to use it to make flour, obviously. But I'm going to hold it back so that we can use it to make animal feed. Because we should do half a field this season, and I think we're actually going to do a whole field. So we'll just hold back a whole field of rye, and it should work out even. In addition to our 600 that we need to hold back for next year. But I figure since we're going to have two sites with animals here soon, we're going to have to start doing a whole field instead of a half field every other year. Because I want to get the animal pen over there and the fields up and running before the kids are actually grown, because I feel like that's a significant amount of extra money that we could be making. What did you miss last week in summary? Well, well, that's not gonna work. We finished the storyline. I don't know if you were around when we did that or not. We started the second village. We went scouting for the second village. That was an adventure, as we weren't entirely sure where we wanted to put it. And we checked a lot of possible locations before finally settling on one. I don't know. A week is kind of a long time. I don't remember quite everything that we've done. Oh man, we're going to be back up in the straw again. I think your torch idea might be a good one, Venomous, just because we're going to have so much straw again. Alright, so let's put the straw and rye grain away. So the rye grain, we want to leave 600 back. So we'll take it all, and then we'll put 600 away. Well, we'll put 615. We'll do 620, just for oopsies. Alright, then the rest of it we will keep, and we will turn into flour. Yeah. Yeah, I think the extra fields are going to be a big help. Where did our wife go? I would really like to have her pay our taxes so I don't have to worry about it. That's our kid. Where is our wife? I don't even remember what I have her doing anymore. What the hell? She ran across the river. Where's the second village? Oh, I'll show you here in a minute because we're gonna go hit up the field here momentarily.
Who are you? Have a good day.
It's actually just up the road. It's right here. About halfway between us and Gustovia. And we basically inverted the design, because here we've got the production buildings leading into the barn, leading into the fields. And over there we have the fields leading into the barn, leading into the production buildings. Okay, so we're going to need at least one more scythe here real quick. So we're going to take 4 of these, 1 log and 1 stick. Okay. Now we will fix our fields up real quick. So this one, Village 1, Field 1 is going to be rye, or no, flax. Wrong season, sake. Except, this one's also going to be flax. This one is also going to be flax. Nope. This one's actually going to be the one that we do oats. I don't know if we have 100 oats. I think I was only keeping back 50. So we'll have to verify that, but... Hello, Cosme. How's things? Would animal feed be better than torches? Yes and no. We need the animal feed is the only reason I'm making it. Normally I wouldn't make animal feed for money. It's just not worth the wait. But, the torches are probably the better bet for money. We are going to need some, straw for, animal feed, but we will be able to get that out of what we keep back. Alright, we're gonna head over to the second village real quick. You bad boy, lol. Alright, so we'll head over to the second village and we'll get that trimmed up. And then we can have them start... Why? Oh, no, that is part of the housing. The road is at an awkward angle here. And that's why I don't like building close to the roads, because it makes you do weird things with your houses. I like doing the cardinal directions for the houses, because it lets you get pretty square villages. Like, this fence here bothers me because it's slightly off. But, like, the rest of it's all very square and gridded and looks really nice. Like, they're all even lines. And even over here, like, we've got it all nice and squared up and even. Our fence looks better. But that's not a thing that we can do with... Oh, no! She had a tool! I don't know where she got it, but she had a tool. She's in the middle of the field. Well... Oh, nice! You ever played City Skylines? No, one of my roommates in Montana used to play it, but I haven't played it myself. Oh, good, she's not actually harvesting. She's doing the other fields. Perfect. It's a little more SimCity than I normally go for. I do like SimCity, but I have to be in the mood for that, and it's not usually a long-term game for me. Yeah. You like things spaced out, but houses usually in a row. I feel you. The reason that I didn't want everything spaced out is I wanted minimal travel distance between different workstations. I have forever been a function over form kind of person. I don't know why. It just is what it is. Like playing Minecraft, all of my buildings tend to be giant squares. When I played Space Engineers, all of my ships tended to be flying bricks. Same thing with StarMade. Same thing with Empyrean. I'm not great at design, but I am good at making things efficient. They have no mixed... Oh, no mixed zoning, so it feels weird for you as a European? Oh, you mean like how you have to zone your residential versus industrial, etc.? Okay. So that's got all of that handled. We will go ahead and thresh this, but we're going to, I really want it at the other site, though. Yeah. We'll just throw it in storage. So it looks like almost... We don't have any extra rye in here, do we? Oh, we do! Alright, let's see how this works out. Yeah, 1,200. Well, 1,260. That is a lot of animal feed. I really hope animal feed isn't a 1-to-1. I try to build to match the landscape, so if trees and my fences, so I pie around the same... Ah, gotcha. Animal feed is a 1-to-1. That is way more than what we need for animal feed. So I believe we had around 500 last year. And this year we've got... No, we have around 500 now. Alright, wow. So... That's a lot. That is way more than I would really like to make. So you know what? We'll put 500 of this in, and then we'll turn the rest into flour as well. That's going to give them an additional 500 in animal feed, and then if that's not enough, we'll deal with the consequences of that when it comes up. Alright, so we'll put that flour in there. We're not going to get any rocks out of them. We're going to have to go to the mine to get our rocks. So, let's get the flax planted first, though. Oh, right, I wanted to see if they had enough oats. Can you make bread and pastries yet? I could, but it would require more effort in the grain department than I'm really willing to put in. We only have 55 oats. We're going to have to buy some oats so that they can finish off that other field, as they do not have enough. So let's grab 2 bags, and we will grab some flaxseed. Grab like 200. Pi is a surveying term for point of intersection. Gotcha. Okay, 8. 8 into... flax, yeah. So I don't know if she's going to be able to handle that other field, because the other one she's going to have to hoe and fertilize to get it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one, because we know she's not going to get to this. The other 3 fields should be handled with the 3 people over there. But this one we're going to have to help out quite a bit with, more than we normally do. But we're also going to have to buy 50 more oats, and at least we have the knives that we can sell for those. So that'll help there. We also need to make a mine run to make sure that we get enough stone to upgrade the storages like we started. I'm just glad it'll still let us get into the container while it's in mid-upgrade. That's going to help quite a bit. As if it would have done like it does with the businesses, where you can't just sign them while you're upgrading it, we'd be kind of screwed out here. Northeast Comic Con and Collectibles. Just wanted to stop in and give a like. Your village... Oh, well thank you. I appreciate that. Also, welcome. We always appreciate likes and people stopping to say hi. It's very helpful. And vindicating. We're only halfway through this field. This is my least favorite part of the game, to be completely honest. This is why I try to get it done in the early game as much as possible myself, so that I max level farming and I never have to do it again. Had to draw a map on paper just to navigate it. Fair enough. I actually did that back in the day when I played before the game fully released. I made an Excel file. Yay, barn level 3! I made an Excel file where I had made all the cells the same size and then filled them with colors so that I knew where all of the nodes were and where the walking path was. And that was how I navigated my mine back then. I had the nodes color-coded so that I knew which node was where, because they don't change. I'm weird like that, though. I make spreadsheets for games all the time. Oh, they didn't actually finish hoeing this. I did not realize that. They were really, really close, though. I mean, they were partially through the last row. Oh, that is more weight than we can carry, huh? What do we have that's so heavy? The straw. I forgot to put the straw away. Alright, which end are you starting on, lady? I'll start on the other side. That side? Alright. Yeah, we gotta do something about the pigs, though. We need more pigs. And they have not bred in 4 1/4 years. Any news about the release of co-op or update? The big update, the Oxbow, is still coming. They had said that it was going to release sometime this year. As far as I know, that hasn't changed, although it is getting close to the end of the year. But they had a little card system that they were doing with 4 hidden slots, and they said that when the 4th slot was unveiled, the update would be ready. And so far they have revealed 3, but the 3rd reveal was about 2 weeks ago. So, I don't know, we've probably still got the better part of a month, if not a little bit longer. But the first reveal was that, because it's the co-op update, the Oxbow. But the first one was that they were adding a new map, which we are all super excited about. And then the second part was that they were making it, or that they were allowing female characters, which is also super cool. Although I'm a little curious as to how they're going to do that, since the women are out for 2 years for pregnancy. So I don't know how they're going to handle that, which is kind of exciting. And then their third update was that we will actually be allowed to do character customization. So that's super cool, too. I just stick to the wall and make my way around. The mine up by the... splits in 2, yeah. This year means January at the earliest. Depends on who the developer is, because some developers this year means like 1.5 years down the road. But I'm hoping that these guys will actually pull through and get it this year. I am super excited for the new map. I like this map, but we've done it to death. It's time for a new one. I'm a little curious as to what they're going to do with the storyline, too, because you can't use the same storyline in a place that isn't the valley, because the storyline revolved around being in the valley. So I'm not entirely sure, especially if they're going to give you character customization. Being Racemir is not going to make sense because your Uncle Eordan was the reason that you came here. So they're going to have to find a new premise for all of that. It's going to be interesting. I'm simultaneously disappointed and happy that I wasn't drawn for the beta. I'm disappointed because I would have loved to have known the answers to these questions. But I am actually happy because if I had been drawn for the beta, I would not be allowed to stream it because they're all under NDA. So that's a thing. So it's the end of the first day of spring. I wonder if we get this all the way done up, if she will be able to finish it by hoeing and seeding herself by the end of the season. I'm hoping that just by finishing the fertilizing of this field, we'll be able to ignore it and go on about our business. I think I got out of line. When multiplayer comes out, I might have to call on you all in Discord. My gamer friends are absolutely not interested. Fair enough. Fair enough. I have some friends that are not interested in playing this game until it becomes multiplayer, so I actually kind of have the reverse problem. My problem is going to be taking a new player in after we have already optimized the crap out of this. Because, I mean, our pathing is pretty much set in stone. Right? Yeah, well, I mean, you look at games like, Minecraft was originally developed by one guy. And yeah, it's come a long way since the one guy was in charge of it, but it was one person's brainchild. Oh, that's over there. Looking at the Village 2 fields. Okay, yeah. I think it's fully... I think we got it all. Oh, I'm silly sometimes. Nope, we missed 2. Not up here, so it must be over here. No. So then it's along here? Yep. And I'm out of fertilizer. You know, in all honesty, Venomous, me as well. The AAA games used to be where it was at, and lately they are the ones that seem like they're half-assing it the most. Most of the AAA games that have come out recently have just been a joke. And a lot of the indie developers are doing some really impressive stuff. Alright, so let's eat some scrambled eggs. And make some more scrambled eggs. And head to the mine. Which isn't going to be a huge deal. I don't really like going into the mine when it's dark, but we do have night vision potions, so it's not a big deal. How are we doing on those? We have 2. We're going to need at least 5, I think. Well, maybe not, because we don't take as long now that we're only doing iron. We'll take them just to be sure, but I don't think that we're actually going to need 5 anymore. Oh my god, that leather is getting out of hand. So is the limestone. We're going to have to do something with that soon. Rockstar's the only one left, although I hate that they didn't show Red Dead any love. Yeah, Red Dead 2 was a phenomenal game, and the online was super cool. But I am a little disappointed with the direction they chose to take on that as well. Oh, that's what's going on. There we go. Now he can move with some alacrity. Once they realized that making a barely disguised video poker is the most profitable, there was no turning back, right? That's the unfortunate part, I think, with a lot of the big studios, is they're in it for the money, whereas a lot of the indie developers are in it for the love of the game. It's kind of the same thing that you see in music. Before musicians get big, their music has a lot of heart and soul, and is usually really fun, and, you know, neat to listen to. And then when they get to be these huge name people that crap out, you know, an album a year, their quality slips, because they're not in it for the love of music anymore, they're in it for the money. And that's not true of all of them, but it's true for more of them than it should be. There's always exceptions to generalizations, but I feel like the game studios are going much the same direction that the music studios went years ago. That's true, but once you're selling at arenas, you have to make music that's palatable for normies. That's fair. Still frustrating to the diehard fans, though. Alright. Why do I feel like I'm lost? This is the drop-off, isn't it? No? Nope, this is the entrance. Okay, so we come in. We go around here. And we go forward, and we go through here. And then the iron should start right here. Are you iron? I feel like you're not iron. I feel like you're tin. You're copper. You're not even tin. Through here, then? Did I jump the gun? Alright. Well, first things first. Let's pop a potion so that we can actually see. Because these torches are freaking useless. Okay, that's iron. That's iron. Yeah, this is... okay. I don't know how I got turned around, but I did. You have a date with 2 million career damage on Apex tonight? Well, that's fun. Congratulations. I don't know what kind of damage Apex does, so I don't know how impressive or not impressive that is, but I'm going to assume that it's impressive, or you wouldn't be excited about it. Okay, that's 10. Yep. Yeah, okay. We did clean that set out. I hear you, Winnie. Okay. Back to being able to see again. These torches really do help in the weird, awkward spots in between, but when you're searching for specific ores, they can sometimes actually be more harmful than helpful. When you're trying to see the spots in between the torches. That's 10. Just a personal milestone wanted to share with the psychotic family. Fair enough. Like I said, I'm assuming it's impressive, or you wouldn't have brought it up, because that's like there are some games where 2 million damage is a huge thing, and there are some games where it's really not because of number creep. But I'm assuming that Apex Legends is not one that has a terrible lot of number creep. Because usually you see those more in PvE games as opposed to PvP games. So I know, like Warframe, your first 2 months playing the game, hitting 1 million damage is kind of a big deal. And then after you've been playing the game for a year or so, you're like, yeah, I can hit a couple of million damage in a match or two. But it's all PvE, and it's all super big number creep based on what mods you have on your equipment and what equipment you have. So I'm assuming that PvP would be much better balanced than a PvE is. It would have to be, or people wouldn't play it. Every player starts with 150 health, and yeah, 2 million is a lot. Well, that means that you will have killed 13,334 people. Or at least dealt enough damage to have killed. I suppose some of them might be assists. That's kind of a big deal. Yeah, no. Congratulations, that's super impressive. Especially in a PvP game. that was iron. I thought it was salt there for a minute. It's copper, that's salt, that's tin. That's iron. So this will be the last of the iron. And hopefully we'll have enough stone to actually finish that storage. Ah, no. No, put that back. He needs that. I forgot that this arm we don't actually need to dump on the horse. Well, also anybody that you've damaged that didn't actually die over the course of the match, or were healed. I don't know if healing is a thing in that game or not. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so for stone-wise, we have... Exactly, yep. Well, that gave us 161. That's not a terrible lot, but hopefully it'll be enough to at least upgrade one of these storages. Well, you know what? We could start with this one here. So let's go to storages, resource storage 3. Alright, and we will take some stone. I don't know, we'll take like 50. Now back to some medieval dynasty. Fair enough. Okay, so I think the rest of this is just going to be logs and planks. Oh, we don't have any planks out here. Although we did adjust them to start making more planks, so we might be okay. So we also adjusted them to start making more logs. I think 40 is probably excessive. We'll take 38 and see what happens. This is also giving us a bunch of build tech points, which is very, very nice. All these upgrades and buildings that we've been making. Yeah, I think I took more than we needed, strictly speaking. Okay, so 12, 24, 36, yep. 48, 60? I will check here in just a moment. Oh good, we do actually have enough. Okay, so tech, we are now, for building technology, we're actually at the end. We are 250 past the end of building tech. So I guess the extra building tech really doesn't matter. I didn't realize that resource storage was the end of that. We just got our Herbalist 2 shack. Bought the recipes that we care about, ignored the rest. The fishing hut 2 we really don't care, because we don't have a fishing hut up at all. But we are a little over halfway to the end of that one. Farming tech. We just unlocked the barn 3. Next will be the windmill and another 2,000 points. So we're looking at about 4 real-time days. Because we get about 500 points a season, and we do about a season an episode. So we're looking at 4 to 5 real-time days. Our sewing hut 3, we are just about to... That is huge. And then after that is the tavern, which is what we really, really, really want. because that's going to let us turn cherries into wine, which are worth a fair amount of money. The downside is we do not have enough rocks to do another storage. I think we used almost everything that we have. Well, we might actually. I think we used about half of what we had. So let's head back to the new village and see if we can finish that one, because we already started doing it, and I don't like seeing a storage without walls. And then we might actually have to visit the other mine to get enough rocks to be able to finish the storage at home. We're at the first village location. I wonder if you'd have to pay for a dedicated server for the multiplayer. I don't think so. I think it's supposed to be client to client, but I'm not positive. Of course, you could always just buy a cheap-ass laptop and toss together a Linux server, too. And host your own permanent server that way. As for the most part, the servers don't really need as much oomph as the client side does, so you're not actually generating graphics or anything like that. And seeing as the graphics card, especially now, is the most expensive part of the computer, you could probably get away with a fairly cheap model. You might even be able to do something with a motherboard with integrated. Do we know if it'll be cross-platform? I don't think so. They haven't said either way, but that could be what's behind door number 4, because they haven't told us what that either, so... at this point, I'm going to say we just don't know. Oh, I wanted those. Yeah, we don't have enough. How much more do we need? 8, 16, 22, 30, 5. We need 35 more rocks. I don't think we're going to find 35 in this area. Rocks aren't super plentiful here. Although maybe. The downside of that would be that if I host the server and play it with my friends, then eventually they would abandon it since they can't play on their own. Yeah, fair. But we run into that with a lot of different games. I tend to have multiple saves in things like Minecraft, or I'm doing Sunken Lands with a friend. We're actually trying to make a video on that, but our timing has not been real great lately as far as playing together. Mostly because he's 2 hours behind. So I'm going to bed about the time that he finishes dinner, and that's a problem. But I generally speaking do a save that is specifically for playing with friends, and then a save that is specifically for solo. You can use your pickaxe for stone. Yeah, that's the whole reason that we were in the iron mine, was to get up enough stone to do what we had started. Or are you talking about the ones that are around here? So I didn't really see very many in this area. We still need 20. Along the road, maybe? It's a possibility. Might actually get us some extra limestone as well. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, here's the mother lode. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Should have started on that side. Shit. Okay, now the upside is, and the reason that I wanted to do the one out there first, is we know that we don't have enough planks over here. But that's not really a problem, because we've got the thing right next to us that we can use to chop planks, so we will make it work. Oh. Okay, I think we actually did the logs right this time. Alright, and then we know that we need 60 planks. So we'll take 30 of these. Next door. You know, it's kind of nice actually working out of this village because we don't have to kick people off of stuff to actually get access to equipment. I have to say that that part of it's really nice. Alright, so what's our storage at now? Now we're over 12,000. And we're all the way down to 2,000 in used. So we are in great shape there. The upside to upgrading these, though, is not only does it increase our storage, which honestly at this point we really don't need because we've basically streamlined everything. We've got kind of a just-in-time ordering strategy going on, but they will take less durability damage, and it will reset their durability to 100%. So between those two things, that actually helps out quite a bit. Alright, I would love to go on a sail run, but I don't think we really have enough time left, so I'm gonna go snag our limestone and upgrade some of the houses over here so that they use less heat, and so that the workers are happier. Oh, I forgot to check when the season changed. How are our people doing? Nicola is out of a job. That was quick. Okay, so excavation is fine. Production is fine. Yep. Ah, we got a salesperson that's missing. So that's a problem. We could put Nicola there. I don't know what her sales level's 3, isn't it? Yeah. Let's put her there now, just so that we have something going out at least. So we also still need to refine all of that rye. All that flour. Holy... Well, they're definitely starting to bring it in for us. That's good. Alright, that's this house done. What are you... We're stuck inside somebody. Fantastic. Yeah, yesterday's episode we actually got ourselves stuck inside a... Whoop! I think I may have hit the horse. Oh, no, no blood. He's just making noises. Yeah, when we built the kitchen out at the second village site, the, when you build the last part, all of the equipment inside spawns in, and we were stuck inside the chimney. Had to unstuck to get out. I'm really disappointed that we can't really pull these houses forward. So that's gonna look weird forever. That guy in his goofy hat. Okay. I appreciate that. We worked very hard to keep it clean lines and roads and whatnot. I would love to put some roads down here so that we don't have the plants growing in the middle of the walkway. The problem is the roads are so narrow that we would have to do multiples side by side, and then it gives you a weird striped effect, and I don't like it. So we're basically just dealing with the plants. Kid? We were almost into need another Timmy territory there. Did any of you guys watch Dinosaurs back in the day? It was an old sitcom. Dirt roads are striped. Not the ones here. You get ruts, but they're not really striped. Ah. When you were a kid? Yeah, I did too. The, so the premise was, for those of you that didn't see it, that the dinosaurs were the main characters, and they acted like humans. They walked around and talked. You had carnivores that lived with herbivores, and the herbivores were afraid of the carnivores, but they were their bosses, and they had jobs like normal people. But there was a science show that the baby dinosaur always used to watch that had two scientist dinosaurs, kind of like Beakman's World or Bill Nye. And their tester, instead of being a puppet, was a human child named Timmy. And every episode that they showed the science show, Timmy would inevitably get blown up somehow, and the dinosaurs would yell, "We need another Timmy!" And it's just stuck with me. So that has become my phrase for oopsies that have disastrous consequences, is we need another Timmy. Grass grows between the tire marks. Well, that depends on where you're at, too. But fair enough. A lot of the last state that I lived in it's actually mostly dirt roads. You can literally get from one side of the state to the other without ever touching pavement. And almost none of it has plants growing in it. But it's also a very arid environment, so that's the thing. Alright. So that got rid of all of our limestone. That puts us in a good spot. Can't tell if they're going to work or coming home from work. I think they're going to work. Yeah, it looks that way. Fair. We're going to wind up with more than just the 2 troughs, though, because the roads are... I mean, that's a road. So, in order to do multiple lines of that... Well, how close to that can we get? Can we overlap it? Did they fix it finally? No. Weird stripe up the middle. Well, that side's not as bad. Yeah. Yeah, to make this whole thing road is going to have a bunch of weird patterns in the middle of it that I'm not really willing to deal with, I don't think. Yeah, I just don't like how that looks. It doesn't look right to me. Oh, I should have made shorter stripes. Yeah, I just don't like the way that it turns out. Yeah, fair. It's not the grass that bothers me. I'm perfectly fine with the grass. Like, back in here, this is fine. My problem is all these stick twigs sticking up right down the main thoroughfare of our housing area. Like those right there. That's my main complaint. I mean, we can pull them every year, but it gets to be frustrating, especially when we already have a bastard lot of sticks on hand. There we go. Now it's not so bad. Look at these guys working hard. Oh, do we not have a hoe anymore? I think I threw all the hoes into storage. I did. Fire pits, fences, tables, etc. Yeah. I really need to pretty up that sitting area back here. Well, originally we were going to make it bigger and put a fire back here and whatnot. Because we were going to move these 3 houses forward to be in line with everything else to make this area back here bigger, because this is where all our benches are. But I think we're just going to have to put a fire here and maybe some more benches along that house, a table or 2. But we found out that we can't actually move these houses forward. Well, we can these 2. We move them forward. But this one we can't because the road will be in the way. So if you try to extend this forward, you'd hit road right about here. And you still need to go quite a bit further, so... Unfortunately, this little oddity in our village, this chunk right here, is just going to have to exist. But we did remedy it in Village 2, because we were able to put the Tier 3 houses in so everything's spaced properly. So when we do the houses along here and along here, it's not going to be a problem. Oh, and place the unwanted sticks and bushes. Yeah, that's an option, I suppose. I kind of like the way that it looks like a road, though. And if we put a bunch of clutter in the middle, it's going to be weird. I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm really amazed, though, for a game that allows us free building like it does, that our city turned out so clean. The nice, even squares makes me happy. That, like, this kind of bothers me. They're square with the road, so I'll let it pass, but it kind of bothers me that they're not in a grid pattern. But that's okay. It did, though. It turned out amazingly well. This fence here bothers me, too. But to fix it, we'll have to re-fence the whole bloody thing, and I really don't want to do that. Because I want one continuous unbroken line so that we don't wind up with a gap like we did on Season 1. Like, even over here, we've got... I mean, these guys are squared off with the mine entrance. This one over here is a little more haphazard. But the buildings themselves are squared off with each other. That's why I asked if you played City Skylines. You got the grid thing down. Well, honestly, there's a reason cities are built in grids. It's the most efficient pattern. That is a real thing. Alright, so we need to hit up the second mine to get more stone to finish upgrading the storages. We need to make sure that they get the field done over here. We also need to go on a sale run. Actually, that's a good idea to collect things for. We need to go on a sale run and buy more oats. We need 50 more oats. If you don't consider landscape fair. But since when have humans ever considered anything that's not in our own best interest? Or at least our own immediate interest. I suppose there's quite a few times that we don't do our own best interest. Okay, so... we could make some more wool, but we're not going to worry about it right away. But I do want to take some of those iron knives. Read most of them. And we'll take some logs. And we'll make some vials to sell off. And we're going to go on a sale run, I think, to purchase the oats that we need and to obviously clean out the other villages for financial reasons. But I think we will probably start out our next episode with said sale run, and then we will worry about going to the other mine. It'll be our first time in the other mine, so we're going to be exploring that together. But we will go to the other mine and harvest the iron out of there so that we can get some extra stone to upgrade the rest of the storages. So I think that's going to be a big, important bit. But it is that time of the night, guys. So we are going to go ahead and stop here. We did get quite a bit done. We got the fields handled. We got our rye. We haven't actually cooked our rye up yet, which is another thing that we're going to have to do in the next episode. But we got our rye. We've got everything rolling smoothly. We got our other animal pens built up. We got them fenced in. We've got the babies moved. We've got some workers over here now. But on that note, if you learned anything useful or if you had a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out with us. I very much appreciate it. And we will catch you next time.